Hello everybody, my name is Zach here. Today I'm going to show how to make a fan-made Epic Wubbox sound in a kind of a cheap. This is a freeway, so which means that it's kind of cheap. You don't really have to do anything. I'm just gonna move OBS here so it makes it easier. The things you're gonna need is Soundtrap. You're gonna need an account for Soundtrap, MuseScore 4, and GarageBand. So first, obviously, you have to know the BPM, all that stuff. First, we'll start with the percussions. And to make the percussions, you gotta do samples. How do you do samples? All you gotta do, open a project. You can record your sample from anywhere. Like, you can record it from here, or like, you can just take a sample. All you gotta do, you go to plugins, you then go to AU Sampler, go to Mono, and what the AU Sampler, Mono. You'll find this in AU Instruments. You go to Apple. What the fuck? Is it FL Studio? Okay. AU Sampler, Mono Stereo. You wanna go, I actually forgot, so I'm just gonna pick Mono. It doesn't really matter, because I don't see a difference. You're gonna be introduced to a sine sound. But hang on, I wanna test what is stereo. Yeah, I don't understand this. Anyway, I'm getting distracted, so we'll do mono for now because I actually do not know how. All you gotta do, you click on this, which opens AU Sampler. The name doesn't matter. You can just change it on here. You go to your Finder. You can just choose file. You do choose file or this. It doesn't really matter. The choose file will replace that sound with the plus down here. You can add multiple sounds. If you press plus here, it's just gonna add another layer, but you don't really need that. So we have this now. What the fuck? Oh shit! Oh, this is an audition. Anyways, that doesn't matter. I'll leave the percussion instruments, the percussion samples in the description, or you can. And I'll leave the patch, the instrument patch as well. But if you already have it, you should have this, an Epic Wubbox percussion. Basically, I put all the samples I could find in here. You could add more if you want, and maybe send it to me so it's easier for me to handle as well. But all I had to do was just put it in each individual one. You might think it's hard to do it. All you gotta do for if you just want one sound, C4. Just put it one on C4. This one was on C sharp 4, D4, D sharp 4, and etc. So we got 4 kick basses that I put. Now we got 2 claps. Wait, I just realized this is the Oasis. Yeah, I sampled that from Oasis. Now we got the arm sounds. This is from Plant Island, I think. This is Cold Island. This is Earth Island. And then this is Fire Oasis, and that's all the sounds you have. I learned that you can actually find the sounds on something. If you go on the My Singing Monsters wiki, you can actually probably find where the original samples are from. But you need to use money. You need to use money. And also, to see all here, you can see all the volume, so it actually fits. Alright, now since I'm making one for this, so since this is percussion, I'm doing one for this. So I'm gonna, and you see the BPM, the tempo, it's 100. So we're gonna set the BPM tempo to 100. Now you wanna. Okay, this is for Mac users, since I don't know if it's actually available for Windows, if you can actually do it on Windows. You want to do Control and then click, so you can add your whatever you want to call it, your track. Oh, this is a track, so you can add the whatever it's called, the thingamajiggy, the thingamabob. Now you want to press P so you can access your scale, MIDI, whatever. So even though it said in the sample C4, I don't know why, but it's just lower. It's just 1 octave lower, but that doesn't really change anything. So now you have all your samples here. You can just think of a rhythm. With percussions are rhythm based. So it's better to I forgot. Never mind. So I'm just gonna cook up a rhythm first. Alright, so I've done track 1 now. Now I'm gonna do track 2. You can, obviously this is customizable, you can do it as like, however you want it to be. Alright, now I finished track 2. You can have these split, hang on, Command T, you can actually split these. So after that, all you gotta do, you can name, hang on, not save as. You gotta do share, export song to disk. You can name your file anything if you want. I don't know what to name it. Now you wanna save it to download so it's easier to access. All you gotta do is open your Finder, and then at the 4th one, yeah, Jesus Christ. So just save it to downloads so it makes everything easier. Save it as MP3 as for high quality. And now you're done with percussion. All you gotta do is drag in your files, unless you don't want to do it yet. So now you gotta close GarageBand, save, obviously save it to GarageBand. Yeah, don't worry, just press enter. Nothing bad happens to it if you, or just not save and don't give a shit. It depends on what you want. Now you want to open MuseScore 4. And if you're wondering how to get MuseScore 4, I'm pretty sure you have to have MuseHub open. MuseHub, and that's not a website. But yeah, it's an app where you can download stuff like MuseScore and other stuff that I don't know. I don't remember. So what you want to do is you want to open MuseScore. You want to click on baritone sax. It's in woodwinds. It should be in woodwinds. Common, woodwinds, then go all the way down. Second last one, baritone saxophone. You add that to there. Then you press next. Not done. Press next. You hit this so you know what BPM you're gonna be setting this. Checkbox, and just type in any of your desired BPM. If you want to name this, up to you. But I'm not gonna do it since it's not really important for me. You can set your bars to anything. I'm gonna set it to 4 for now. Now, all I gotta do, first go to mixer, turn the reverb off. You don't need any reverb. It's just kinda gonna ruin it. Now, you think of a melody. You think of your own melody. Or you can just like base it off one of the monster sounds. When you're placing notes, make sure to make one that's also a lower octave, so they play together, and it just sounds better. It's, like I said, it's up to you. MuseScore is kind of a little bit like kind of hard to learn, but once you learn it, then it gets easier. So that's how I'm just gonna say it. If you want these notes to connect and not sound like two notes like da da, like you just heard right there, just add a slur or a tied note, whatever you want to call it. I don't know the difference between slurs and tied notes. I'm recording this at like never mind, not 11 p.m., 12 a.m. Just turned 12 p.m. Anyways, it's the difference between slurs and tied notes. I'm pretty sure tied notes is on the top, while slurs is on like the bottom notes. You can see it in the video. If you don't know what this note does, a staccato, Shift S. Basically, it shortens the note by placing it in half. It's like when you hit your it's like when you're playing something on your keyboard, but instead of like going the full note, you just use small taps like I don't know what that was, but anyways. Now, after that, it's different to GarageBand, obviously, since they're two different things. MuseScore and GarageBand are two different things. The only thing they're similar with is they make music. Anyways, all you gotta do is export. You go to File, you press Export. Then you make turn the format into MP3 audio. After that, we export. You can name this anything, like I said. Save it to, like I said earlier, save it to downloads and not wherever you're gonna save it, because it's gonna be harder to find. I just recommend doing that. And also, if you're wondering, well, Zach, why not just open orchestral and then go to orchestral, go to woodwind, and then pick baritone saxophone? No. First of all, I just realized this is staccato, which means it can be a shortened note. It's only going to be a, and not a. And second of all, you can't even use that, cause soundtrap being terrible, it's like a premium feature. The only way you can access that is if you're running this on a school account, but you can't access it forever, cause possibly your teacher will unenroll you from your Soundtrap school account once like you're graduated or something. So you won't have it for long unless you actually buy it and get a real account. All right, now after that, all you gotta do is just drag your samples in. Dragging these no, I'm not gonna make the joke like that. Those jokes are old. All you gotta do is just drag these two samples in, and now you're pretty much almost done with the samples, especially with GarageBand, and I think both MuseScore and GarageBand, they're gonna have this space between it. That's gonna make it sound off sync, just slightly, but still it's a bit off sync. So you want to hit Command, hold Command, and then drag it. So, because if you not hold Command, it's gonna stay locked in, and it's gonna lock to a grid. Also, this is the second track. You just gotta hit Command E so you can split them. Look, hiya, hiya, karate chop. Jesus Christ. We're gonna say that's racist, but I'm Asian anyways. You can actually loop these by pressing this loop button right here, and now it's right there. I'm just gonna place this here. You can put. Jesus. I fixed this too. And with the vocals, it's the same thing. It has a slight delay, so it's gonna sound off beat. It's gonna sound off beat. I really hope that they couldn't hear the vacuum in the background. I forgot to turn my mic on. I'm sorry if this my voice sounds fucking deep right now. I just want to go to sleep already. It's 12 a.m. the same time I recorded the audio earlier. Anyways, I gotta stop saying anyways, but with what I was trying to say here, because the two other recordings were shitty, and yes, there was another one for this section. You have to find, what was it called? Two effects: classic distortion and tremolo, which is tremolo right here. Turn the shape all the way to the square symbol, depth to 47, and rate to 8.2 hertz. These two really don't matter. It just matters. It depends on how much you want it to like treble. Like you can sound it here. You can sound it. What the fuck is wrong with you? Can hear it here. I'm not wearing any earphones, so that shit echoed. And also you want to have classic distortion. Only focus on the tone to shift it all the way up. The 2-band equalizer, you shift both of them up, so it's both enhanced. And I'm not gonna show the rest of this because screw you, you don't get to see it.